preview your model subdivided, and much more with Dynamic Subdivision. Dynamic Subdivision allows you to toggle on and off a subdivided preview of your subtool. The Q grid slider will apply a grid style of subdivision to your mesh. The coverage slider below controls the results of your bevel or chamfer enabled options. You can enable both options if you desire. The constant button will keep your bevel and chamfer sizes consistent. Smooth subdivs is the normal method of subdivision, and flat subdivs will subdivide as normal without any smoothing applied. These settings, while useful, aren't critical to using Dynamic Subdiv. Dynamic Subdivision with all settings off but smooth subdivs will display small handles around your mesh. The real beauty of Dynamic Subdivs is how well it works with creasing. Select the Z-Modeler crease action along with your target of choice and simply click to apply creased edges along your mesh. Using a Z-Modeler brush with Dynamic Subdivs can be a bit frustrating when selecting edges. Try adding creases or edges with it turned off. When done, simply enable the Dynamic Subdiv button to preview your subdivided creased edges. Another good way to apply creases to your mesh is to open the crease section and apply creases via the crease button. Now with your mesh crease, use a Z-Modeler crease action to alt click and remove creases to smooth the edges. In the center of these settings is the thickness slider. Simply slide to control the virtual thickness of your mesh. The segment slider adds extra segments of geometry along your thickness of your mesh. The Post Subdiv button will visually change the look of your thickness edge. The Smoothness slider controls the amount of smoothing applied to the thickness edges. The Offset slider controls the direction your thickness is created in. In this demo, we're going to use a combination of Dynamic Subdivision along with Z-Modeler to perform some edits. With Dynamic Subdivisions enabled, I prefer to work with just smooth subdivs set to 2 or higher. Since this piece has polygroups laid out, I'm going to click the Crease Polygroups button in order to apply creases along our polygroups here. So now I'm going to come in and along this edge here, I'm going to create a temporary polygroup with my Z-Modeler brush. Next I'll use Q-Mesh to extrude that outward. Now right along the base of this extruded shape here, I'm going to switch to the Crease Z-Modeler brush and just click on edges here to make them nice and sharp. After this, I'll do the same for the corners to make them nice and sharp. The ability to quickly change your edge types in ZBrush is extremely useful for hard surface work. Join me in the next clip where we will cover thick skin.